Hey.
She was a confident young woman making the most out of life.
She had this positive vibe, positive spirit.
She was like a happy-go-lucky person.
Everybody loved her.
And her zest for life caught the eye of a charming older man.
Angel, is that you?
They had reconnected later in life.
They enjoyed each other's company.
She was in love and went straight into a relationship.
Until a brutal crime tore them apart.
911, where's your emergency?
Somebody. Oh, God.
It was a grisly scene.
He wasn't the only victim.
I was shaking.
She's got a pulse.
Who was the target and why?
This is somebody that's not dealing with drugs just for recreational purposes.
Could this have been a drug deal gone wrong?
Or was it more personal?
He had made very serious threats towards her.
Screw you.
She didn't tell me what she was doing.
And the truth will leave everyone speechless.
I fronted him some merchandise and he didn't come through.
He was the worst of the worst. When does it become too much? This is dangerous.
She was dealing with a time bomb, and that time bomb went off.
November 21st, 2018. It's early Wednesday morning in Alton, Illinois, a close-knit community across the river from St. Louis, known to many as the most haunted small town in America.
It's home to a lot of haunted history. Spooky and abandoned hotels, ghost tours.
Haunted and cursed, that seems to be the theme of Alton. Our luck is kind of our personality.
And for one Alton resident, the city's reputation has hit too close to home.
Around 4 o'clock in the morning, 911 dispatch received a call from a young man named Jerry Phelps.
911, where's your emergency?
25 shot. Oh, God, I'm bleeding.
It was clear that he was in pain.
Where's the person that shot you?
Oh, I don't know. He came inside. He left.
Jerry's telling police that he needs help. He's losing blood fast.
My legs are getting numb. I want to die. He's somebody.
First responders arrive within minutes.
Alton police, we're coming in.
Inside, they find Jerry collapsed on the couch, covered in blood and gasping for air.
He was shot in the chest and then a couple times in his legs.
He was in a significant amount of pain and had difficulties communicating.
But Jerry manages to point the officers toward the back of the home.
My friend, Angel. Okay.
Jerry lives with a woman. He doesn't know where she is. He doesn't know if she's okay.
Police make their way down the hallway and round the corner into Angel's bedroom.
They found her up against the dresser with numerous gunshot wounds about her body.
She is in a pool of blood.
Ma'am?
The gravity of the situation was very apparent. Angel was in dire condition.
She's got a pulse.
31-year-old Angel Siddle was always a bright light in the lives of her loved ones.
She lived her life and she had fun. She enjoyed every day.
Angel was that person to make you laugh and make you have fun. She was one of those people, you love her.
She didn't just touch your life, she touched your heart.
Even as a child, nothing could dampen her spirit.
When she was a baby, every time she woke up, she didn't wake up crying. She woke up smile on her face.
She loved her mom, and her mom loved her very, very much and took very good care of her.
As she got older, Angel excelled both academically and socially.
She was a good girl, and she was polite. She was excellent with numbers and math.
She was popular. She had a ton of friends.
But at home, Angel was dealing with more than she ever let on to her classmates.
Angel's parents separated when she was young, and she spent most of her time with her mom.
Every weekend, she went to her dad's house, but he became distant and kind of walked out of her life.
When you leave a child, that is something that sticks with them for the rest of their life. It's a wound that never heals.
But she never let her father's choices hold her back.
Hi, how are you?
After high school, she got her job, and she worked there ever since.
She was a hard worker.
She had a good time. She didn't go into work saying, well, I hate this job.
She was always smiling, always happy. She made work fun.
Over the years, Angel's co-workers had become like family to her, and she'd even moved in with one of them.
What's up?
Jerry Phelps.
She was like, he's a good guy, he'll pay rent.
She invited Jerry to come live with her to help pay some of the bills around the house.
She was taking care of herself.
But while Angel's friendships thrived, she longed for something more.
She wanted love from a good man, you know, that companionship, that closeness. Because of her dad, she looked for is somebody to fill that. She never really could find that.
But eventually, she reconnected with someone from her childhood who helped restore her faith in men.
Angel, is that you?
Yeah. He was a man named Ernie Sykes, who was her best friend's father.
They hadn't seen each other in years.
Wow, it's good to see you.
It's been forever.
The pair quickly hit it off.
He was 20 years older than her, but they had a lot of the same interests.
Ernie made her feel like she could be herself around him.
The age gap made Angel question the attraction she was feeling.
Age becomes less important as we go on. The difference between a 17-year-old and a 27-year-old is a lot different than a 27-year-old and a 37-year-old and a 37-year-old and a 47-year-old.
The more time she spent with Ernie, the more Angel found to appreciate in an older man.
This person seems stable. He's got something going for him.
She was happy. I told her, I said, you know, age don't make a difference just as long as they treat you good.
She did like where the relationship was going.
But now, Alton police have responded to a 911 call from Angel's roommate, Jerry, and found them both on the brink of death.
Angel and Jerry had been shot multiple times.
Angel is fighting for her life in a critical condition.
Jerry was gravely wounded.
It doesn't make any sense how this happened.
What's going on?
31-year-old Angel Siddle had everything going for her. A job she loved, friends she adored, and a new man in her life.
Ernie Sykes was her friend's father, and they had reconnected later in life.
He was older than her, but I had like a good first impression.
She was happy.
But instead of planning a future with her new boyfriend,
She's got a pulse.
Angel and her roommate Jerry Phelps are now both suffering from multiple gunshot wounds.
Someone came into their house and shot them.
What's going on?
Angel was still breathing and she was fighting for her life. The authorities did rush both Jerry and Angel to a hospital very quickly.
As the sun rises, news of the brutal shooting sends Angel's loved ones reeling.
I got a phone call. It was the lady, and she said, we have your daughter here, and you need to get here as fast as you can. She's in critical condition. And I said, oh, my God.
While family races to the hospital to be by Angel's side, Alton, Illinois homicide detectives are called to the scene of the crime.
This was immediately treated like a homicide investigation because there was a high likelihood that Angel and Jerry wouldn't make it. And if they did, it would still be an attempted homicide.
The first thing we find is a guy face up on the couch here, 2 hits to the chest. He advised there was another victim in the back.
It was important for them to gather as much evidence as they could, as quickly as they could.
Investigators scour the home for clues to what happened that night.
Based on the blood splatter, it looked like Angel and Jerry had each been shot in their bedrooms.
They located several shell casings in Angel's room. They located projectiles in the wall behind Angel's bed. They located shell casings in Jerry's room.
It looked like whoever did this caught them off guard, maybe while they were sleeping.
Detectives identify the shell casings as .38 caliber ammunition, but there's no sign of the shooter's gun.
It was clear that somebody had taken a gun out of the home prior to their arrival, which was very quick.
The police needed to figure out who was the intended target here, Angel or Jerry or both.
Searching the bedrooms, detectives may have found their answer.
Investigators did locate some drugs in Jerry's room.
They find empty pill capsules, marijuana, meth. And then in the back of the closet, they find a semi-automatic rifle.
That's not dealing with drugs just for recreational purposes, but this is a drug dealer who's looking to distribute drugs.
It's a discovery that opens a world of possibilities.
Is this a drug deal that has gone bad?
Was someone trying to get payback? Was Jerry being set up, maybe even robbed?
Hoping for answers, officers spread out to canvass the neighborhood for witnesses.
As police are investigating the neighborhood, they're not getting any answers.
This crime happened at 4 o'clock in the morning, so everyone around had been sleeping.
I don't believe any neighbors heard anything that evening.
Undeterred, detectives head to the hospital to speak with Angel and Jerry's families.
Hi, we're detectives with Alton County. We're going to do everything we can to find out who did this.
When they got there, Jerry was under sedation.
Jerry had been shot in locations that, had they been centimeters over, they could have proven deadly.
But Angel's condition is much worse.
She was in such a bad state.
She was shot 7 times.
She was shot 3 times in the left part of her breast, in her bicep, in her upper abdomen, and in her shoulder.
Doctors did everything they could to stabilize her.
Excuse me, detectives.
But in the end, it wasn't enough.
The doctor came in and he said, "I'm sorry." I could feel my eyes starting to water, but I don't think that I really wanted to believe that I had lost the best thing that ever happened to me. I said I'd be there for you, and I wasn't, and I couldn't even say goodbye to her. They didn't ask me, "Do you want to come in and say goodbye?"
Now you have the worst case scenario.
All hands are on deck at that point. It's a murder investigation.
Despite their best efforts, doctors in Alton, Illinois have just broken the terrible news that Angel has passed.
It was like, I must be still asleep. This is not really happening. I didn't lose my Angel.
Determined to get answers, Angel's mom turns to detectives who are waiting to speak with her.
Everyone's working as quickly as possible to make sure that this crime is solved.
I want to help. She pulls it together. She talks to detectives.
But she has no idea who could have done this to her daughter.
Was Angel on bad terms with anyone?
No, not that I know of.
How about boyfriends? Was she seeing anyone?
Gail knew her daughter had been back on the dating scene, but she didn't know who any of the new prospects were.
As far as she was aware, nothing out of the ordinary was going on in Angel's life.
She was planning things that were coming up for Thanksgiving and activities with her family.
She said everything seemed fine.
Well, actually, there was this one thing.
Before it happened.
To find out why Angel wanted to leave her own home, detectives contact her close friends and quickly uncover one potential reason.
They were hearing rumors that backed up what the police thought at the crime scene, that Jerry may have been selling drugs.
It's one thing to have a joint there that you're smoking, but when you have drugs all over the place and the paraphernalia is there, and in addition to that, there's a weapon there.
According to at least one friend, Jerry was allegedly in the middle of a dispute with a man known in the streets as the King.
Okay.
He's been involved in a heated exchange between someone named the King.
There was some friction because of the drugs and the money that are involved in this situation.
It's street justice. You burn me, and you're gonna pay for it. And Angel just got caught in the crossfire.
If the rumors are true, the King is now detectives' only suspect.
Police check out their database to see if they can find someone under the moniker of the King.
They weren't optimistic, but they actually did get a hit. That alias was associated with a known drug dealer in the St. Louis area.
They put a bolo on his vehicle in hopes that they would maybe find him.
Within hours, the detectives get lucky.
A St. Louis police officer spotted the suspect's vehicle in traffic.
They brought him in.
But in the interview room, the King is less than cooperative.
Do you know someone by the name of Jerry Phelps?
No.
Okay. What were you doing last night?
It doesn't seem to be any of your business.
His position is that, hey, listen, I don't know anything. I'm not going to talk to anybody.
Until detectives reveal that they're working a homicide.
They reminded him that they weren't here to talk about any drug activity. They just wanted to investigate a murder.
Hold on. I didn't shoot anyone.
Then you've got nothing to worry about.
At which point, he finally starts to talk.
Okay, yeah, I know Jerry.
The King let his guard down a little bit, and what he said was basically, I know Jerry. Jerry and I, we had some activities.
I fronted him some merchandise and he didn't come through.
Did that piss you off?
Well, yeah.
But according to the King, he wasn't mad enough to do something about it.
He said there is no way I would shoot or kill anybody over drug money.
He also denies knowing anyone named Angel Siddle.
He said, I've never seen her. I don't know who this woman is. I've never been involved with her.
Then tell us where you were last night.
I was hanging out with some friends, okay?
He explained to law enforcement that on the night in question, he was on the other side of the river.
He said he was at a friend's house in downtown St. Louis.
Okay. We're gonna check that out.
And when police follow up, the alibi checks out.
Many other people could corroborate his story.
The drugs that were found in the home had nothing to do with this murder.
And that puts law enforcement back at square one.
But thankfully, they aren't stuck there for long.
One of Angel's friends, who detectives had originally reached out to, came in to talk to them.
Tasha was tremendously helpful.
She tells police that she definitely knows someone who wanted to hurt Angel. And that person is her own dad.
Screw you.
After ruling out one suspect in the double shooting of Angel Siddle and Jerry Phelps, detectives have just received a new lead from Angel's friend Latasha. Her own father, Ernie Sykes.
Ernie is now dating his daughter's best friend.
Latasha and Angel had been friends since they were kids.
Understandably, Angel had been nervous to tell her friend about the relationship.
At first, Angel was hiding it from Tasha, but then she decided to go ahead and tell her because of their friendship.
I mean, I thought it was weird at first, but they're both adults, so they can do whatever they want.
They felt like we're both in the same stage of life. We're both working and trying to do our thing. And if we care about each other, it doesn't matter.
But Latasha says she had concerns about the relationship from the very beginning.
There were some prior experiences with her father and her mother's relationship that concerned her.
She didn't know my dad the way that I do.
Tasha goes on to say, my father can be abusive, my father can be controlling, my father can be mean-spirited. Now, I've seen this from a front row seat.
But Angel was too smitten with her new boyfriend to take the warning seriously.
Angel is so much in love, she runs past all of these red flags.
And before long, Angel experienced Ernie's dark side firsthand.
We went out for drinks and she had this big black eye. And I said, what's going on?
Angel confides in her about what's happening between her and her father.
She's been keeping a dark secret that, yes, Ernie is abusive to her.
Angel knew she was in a bad spot, but she was hesitant to cut ties with Ernie.
It wasn't all bad. They had good times too. It's not uncommon for someone in an abusive relationship to focus on the good and brush the bad under the rug.
She was in love with him. She thought he would change.
But as Angel tried to wait out the storm, the situation only got worse.
She come to work with black eyes.
She has physical signs that she's been abused, black eyes, she have marks, and Ernie, his pattern of abuse has continued.
It took her some time, but she finally did it. She finally left him.
They had split up. She was done. She was really done. She was not going back.
Latasha explains that closing the door on Ernie opened one for someone new.
She started hanging out with Jerry a lot more. He was really nice to her and treated her really good. I don't think she had that interaction with anybody like that before.
I thought they were really cute together.
She was happy, she was laughing, she was relaxed. She was Angel again.
However, while Angel had moved on, Ernie was still clinging to the past.
He couldn't accept that they had broken up. He wanted to get back together. And when he heard that she was seeing Jerry, he was furious.
Just a few days before the shooting, the tense situation reached a tipping point.
Latasha told them that she and Angel were at a bar when Ernie showed up and caused a scene.
Ernie goes off the deep end.
He got into her face and was calling her names.
I know what you've been doing behind my back.
He was accusing her of messing with Jerry, and he said stuff like, I knew it the whole time.
Hey, I haven't done anything to you.
Screw you.
Stop! Get off
You
of me.
stay out of this.
He physically tries to get at Angel, and Tasha, the daughter, literally gets in the middle of these two.
But before they could leave, Ernie said something to Angel that made Latasha's blood run cold.
He had stated that her mom was going to need a black dress and he was going to send her home to glory.
He actually spits on Angel. I mean, that's one of the most disgusting things you can do to a human being.
I didn't think that he was serious, but clearly I was wrong.
Detectives immediately request the footage from the bar and confirm Latasha's story.
Ernie could be seen on surveillance waiting for her. When she came out of the restroom,
That's him.
Just like Latasha told them, he clearly started a heated argument with Angel. So obviously, detectives wanted to speak to him as soon as possible.
But when they bring Ernie in for questioning, he acts surprised to hear of Angel's death.
Angel's dead?
You hadn't heard?
No, I don't talk to her people anymore.
He was like, oh no, I didn't know she was even gone. I am so sorry to hear that.
He came across as very disingenuous.
Ernie also blames Angel for starting the fight between them.
Look, I just tried to have a word with her, and she came at me.
And he firmly denies having anything to do with her murder.
he said he was not in the area or near the house at that time. He never stepped foot in Angel's house that night.
Unfortunately, they have no way to prove he's lying.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
They can't put him at the scene. There's no DNA, there's no eyewitnesses.
But that's about to change.
Homicide.
Law enforcement received a call from the hospital.
Jerry Phelps was awake and ready to talk to police.
Detective, let's go. Jerry's awake.
Detectives questioned the ex-boyfriend of Angel Siddle. He told them he played no part in her murder.
Ernie Sykes told them that he wasn't there, that he had nothing to do with this.
But now, Angel's roommate Jerry Phelps has recovered enough to tell his side of the story.
Once Jerry was able to speak with authorities, he was able to tell the story of what happened that night, since Angel wasn't able to.
There's no doubt in Jerry's mind. Ernie Sykes is the man who shot him.
You sure it was him?
Absolutely. He knew Ernie shot them.
Jerry knew who Ernie was. He had seen him with Angel in the past. Ernie had been to the residence before, and that he definitely knew who he was.
Jerry describes the shooting as the almost inevitable ending to an already violent love story.
Jerry is able to let law enforcement know that all of the bad behavior and explosive behavior of Ernie is true.
Did you ever see him get violent with her?
All the time. Apparently, Ernie would throw things, pull Angel's hair, even hit her.
If he would hear like a thump or something got thrown or something, then he would intervene.
Jerry says he couldn't have been happier when she finally cut Ernie out of her life.
He obviously cared about her.
Jerry told authorities that they did start an intimate relationship.
But he says Ernie Sykes continued to cast a dark shadow over their relationship.
He more or less stalked her all the time.
He knew when she got off work and would wait for her at the bus stop.
He would follow her. He would call her. It was like he couldn't leave her.
Jerry distinctly remembers the day Angel came home after Ernie threatened her at the bar.
I never seen her like that.
She was scared, so scared that she did, in fact, stay at her mother's house for several days. At some point, she felt like things had cooled down, and she went home. Unfortunately, in this case, that wasn't long enough.
On the night of the shooting, Jerry describes how he and Angel enjoyed a quiet evening at home.
The two of them had watched a movie in his bedroom.
She was still a little nervous to be home, so we were just taking it easy. When she was feeling up to it, she left to sleep in her own room.
Thanks for letting me stay in here with you.
Of course. I'm here if you need anything, okay?
But a few hours later, Jerry was jolted awake by a loud noise.
He heard screaming.
He remembered looking up from his bed and seeing the hallway light on, and he knew that was unusual.
Cautiously, Jerry went to investigate.
He hesitantly approached his bedroom door to look and see what was happening.
As he opens the door, to his surprise, Ernie is standing right outside of Jerry's bedroom door.
What are you doing here?
When he saw Ernie, he knew it wasn't good. He knew he shouldn't have been there.
And then all of a sudden, Jerry feels excruciating pain, and Jerry realizes, I've been shot. Jerry slams the door closed, but he's bleeding all over the place.
He remembers just feeling a huge amount of pain in his leg, and Ernie fled. He then attempted to locate his telephone and was able to call 911.
Through it all, Jerry had no idea what happened to Angel.
Is she here? Can I see her?
That was a difficult piece of news for the detectives to share with him.
I'm so sorry. She didn't make it.
I can't imagine what that's like, the regret, just the sadness. How could I have kept this from happening?
Now armed with Jerry's eyewitness account of what happened, detectives are ready to confront their suspect again.
They knew that they had to find Ernie. They were able to locate him and bring him in for another interview.
At first, he had stuck to his original story, that he had nothing to do with this, and he had no idea what happened to Angel and Jerry.
Look, we know you were there. We talked to Jerry.
Once he was confronted with the evidence that authorities had against him up to that point, his story did change.
Ernie's new account of the night of the shooting is the last thing the detectives ever expected to hear.
He says, okay, I was there, but here's what happened for real this time.
He said, yes, I shot him, but it was self-defense.
After recovering from his injuries enough to speak to police, Jerry Phelps has identified Ernie Sykes as the man who attacked him and his roommate, Angel Siddle.
Ernie has been displaying abusive behavior towards Angel.
He was able to say that Ernie Sykes was the person that shot him.
But when Alton police brought Ernie in for a second round of questioning, he quickly turned the tables.
He said he had gone to Angel's house at around 3 or so in the morning in order to get some of his property. And when he got there, he stated that while he was in the home, Jerry just came out of his room and started firing a gun wildly.
Ernie's story changes to the point that he said it is self-defense. I grabbed the gun from Jerry and we start fighting and wrestling for the gun.
He had stated that Angel came out of her room and that Jerry used Angel as a human shield to avoid being shot.
He said it all happened so fast, he didn't even realize what happened.
What did I do?
After that was over, he didn't call 911. He didn't go to the police station. He just left.
Investigators are certain his story is a lie.
The story that Ernie gives simply does not match with the physical evidence.
Couldn't happen like that because there was no blood in the hallway.
Angel was shot in such a way that someone intended to kill this young lady. And the way that Jerry was shot 3 times was not an accidental shooting. The only person at the scene who is physically not injured as a result of the shooting is Ernie. He was the one that ran from the scene.
That doesn't make logical sense.
Stand up. You're under arrest.
Although Ernie refuses to come clean, detectives have all the evidence they need to make an arrest.
They charge him with the death of Angel and the shooting of Jerry.
While Angel's mother is relieved to hear that her daughter's killer is in custody, Ernie's arrest does little to ease her pain.
She maybe didn't bring him around me, and she didn't let me know that he was beating on her. If I would have heard that, I would have made sure that I was over there.
Sometimes there's that fear of, like, I don't want to put my support network in this situation.
I blame myself because I wasn't there to take them bullets for her.
It's just terrible, terrible, terribly sad thing. The questions, what more could I have done?
When Ernie Sykes' trial begins in March 2020, Angel's loved ones are there to face him.
Angel's mother was always there. It was a very emotional time for all of her family and her friends.
In their opening statements, the prosecution paints Ernie Sykes as an abusive ex-boyfriend who was pushed over the edge by Angel's rejection.
There was probably a power imbalance from the beginning because of their age difference and the fact that Ernie was her best friend's father. But when she left him, she took that power from him.
As Angel started to slip away, the desperation started increasing and increasing.
For a while, Ernie thought he could salvage the relationship. But after his fight with Angel at the bar, he knew they were finished for good.
She was not going back to him.
He thought if he couldn't have her, nobody else could have her.
So a few days later, Ernie showed up at Angel and Jerry's house in the middle of the night.
It was unclear how he got into the house. Angel had been taking precautions to make sure they locked the doors, but he did get into the house somehow, in some way that didn't wake anyone up.
In the darkness, he crept up on Angel while she slept.
Ernie Sykes snuck into her room late at night where she should have been safe.
What are you doing here?
He shot her while she was in bed.
But she was still clinging to life.
Angel had managed to get out of bed and make it over to the dresser, fighting for her life.
As Ernie fled, he encountered Angel's roommate, Jerry Phelps.
Jerry heard a loud noise, and he decided to get up and to investigate.
Ernie, without warning, shot him also 3 times.
What are you doing here?
To build their case against the defendant, prosecutors call a surprising star witness, Ernie's own daughter, Latasha Graves.
She did come into court and testified as to the relationship that Angel had with her father and the prior instances between them. I don't think that was a decision that was made lightly, but she knew that something needed to be done.
When it's the defense's turn, Ernie takes the stand and tells the court a new story about what happened that night.
His story changed again. He said while he was there, someone else came in and did the shooting.
This mythical, magical person shows up that really did all of this bad stuff.
Some person who had never been disclosed prior to this.
He was trying to talk his way out of it. I was like, man, why does he keep lying?
The jury doesn't buy it for a second.
We went to the restroom, maybe smoked a cigarette, and by that time, prosecutor was out there waving us to come back in. It was that fast.
Ernie was convicted of first-degree murder for the murder of Angel, and he was also convicted of attempted murder of Jerry.
In line with the heinous nature of his crime, the judge hands down an equally harsh sentence.
He named off how many years he was getting, and it was a total of 125 years with no chance for parole.
He's never going to live a life other than prison. So that does give me some calmness.
Even though Ernie's punishment provides some measure of relief for Angel's loved ones, it's no replacement for the life he took away forever. She was a Colombian native making a fresh start in the Sunshine State.
Ella buscaba una tranquilidad y un mejor futuro para sus hijos.
She was very trusting, very loving. She believed in the goodness of everyone.
But sometimes trust comes at a price.
She was screaming, no, 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 and then the phone cut out.
This is when the nightmare really starts.
The search for answers uncovers a twisted web of lies.
He noticed money was just missing. Credit cards were opened in his mother's name.
And a calculated killer, the likes of which investigators have never seen before.
I've never had a case like this where somebody did something that brazen.
We don't have the head. Okay. What do you want me to do about it?
He just laughed and said they're never going to be able to put Humpty Dumpty back together again.
He was just taunting us and trying to play a game with us.
Set for what?
She didn't know that she was making a deal with the devil.
February 20th, 2021, Boynton Beach, Florida. It's the depths of winter for most of the country, But here in South Florida, the sun is shining brightly.
Boynton Beach is about 50 miles from Miami. A lot of working class families and all around a great town to live in.
It's kind of old Florida, if you will. Crime does not happen in this type of neighborhood.
But that morning, one local family is starting to panic.
They hadn't heard from their loved one, 44-year-old Mary Gomez Mollett, in 2 days.
That Tuesday was the last time I spoke with her. My cousin in Colombia calls me and says, Prima, have you heard anything from Mary today? I said, no, I haven't heard from her in a couple of days. And he tells me, can you call her? Because we're calling her phone, but the call is not going through. So I called her phone, and her phone was going to voicemail.
Mary, please give me a call back when you get this.
And I said, something is not adding up here.
So Sandra decides to contact the authorities.
I need to file a missing persons report.
I called the police, and I remember, like if it was today, it was Saturday morning. They tell me that in order for us to report her missing, we had to wait.
What do you mean 72 hours?
I said, how can we wait 72 hours without knowing what's happened? We have no signs of her. We are calling her, and her phone goes straight to voicemail. So it was very stressful to us.
The family has to wait another grueling 24 hours before they can officially report Mary missing.
By then, Sunday morning, they opened an investigation. They had asked about Mary, what she was wearing that day. I said, I don't know because I wasn't with her. What does she normally carry with her? I said, she carries a purse.
The large black tote bag?
She always in her purse had her lipstick and her rosary. That's one thing that Mary would not ever be without.
The last time somebody had spoken to her was on February 18th of 2021. Nobody had heard from her. They were really concerned because it just wasn't like her.
Listen, we're going to do everything that we can to find your cousin, okay?
It's so hard, I can't. We were still holding on to hope that she was going to be found alive.
44-year-old Mary Gomez Mollett had immigrated to America from Colombia after escaping an abusive relationship.
She was very friendly, very religious. You had a problem, she will come and say, okay, how can I help you? What do you need?
Tomó la decisión de venirse para acá con su hija y con su hijo. Eso era lo que ella buscaba aquí, una tranquilidad y un mejor futuro para sus hijos.
She wanted to be that supportive mother. She wanted them to go to college here.
However, getting settled in their new home of Boynton Beach, Florida, wouldn't be easy.
In Colombia, Mary built a successful career as a biomedical scientist.
But unfortunately, her education credentials didn't cross over into the United States.
Sin documentos no podía ubicarse en un trabajo. Ella a veces se iba a limpiar casas.
But after establishing roots in the community, Mary came across a special opportunity.
She was looking for a better job. Someone in the church has said to her, there's a lady that needs someone to take care of her because she lives by herself. She was starting to have the signs of dementia.
She lived down in Hialeah, which is in Miami, Florida. So Hialeah from Boynton Beach is probably a 2-hour drive.
Ella se fue a cuidar a esta señora allá a Hialeah. La señora la quería.
Thank you, my dear.
Se quedó cuidando a doña ella 24/7. Ella vivía allí con ella.
At this point, Mary's kids were grown and off doing their own thing.
And it was at her new job where Mary met the man who would eventually become her husband.
Mary, this is my son, Roberto.
Very pleased to meet you, Mary.
Likewise. Mary's patient had a 66-year-old son named Roberto Colon. And almost instantly, they found a connection amongst each other.
I can't tell you how much it means that you're taking good care of my mother, to her and to me.
I'm happy to help. She's such a special woman.
Roberto lived in Boynton Beach, where Mary originally settled after moving to the U.S.
He'd come down to Hialeah now and then to visit his mother.
But after meeting Mary, he had another reason to visit.
Mary and Roberto developed a relationship, and it was on the fast track.
Lo conoció en diciembre y ya en febrero se casó con él.
But just 1 month after saying I do, Mary has mysteriously disappeared, and no one in her family has been able to get in touch with her.
This is when the nightmare really starts.
It was just radio silent, and that was completely abnormal for Mary and her communication style with her family.
Listen, we're going to do everything that we can to find your cousin, okay?
The Boynton Beach Police Department, they take their report. It immediately gets sent over to a missing persons detective, who then starts to investigate.
Investigators begin by going to the home of Mary's husband, Roberto Colon.
If Mary is missing, why wasn't her new husband the one who made the missing report? For the police and investigators, this immediately sticks out.
But when police ask Roberto about his wife's disappearance, he doesn't seem to share the family's concern.
I don't know where I'm at with this thing.
Roberto tells police that the last time he saw his wife was 2 days ago, February 18th.
But he doesn't think she's missing. He thinks she's on the run.
And that's because the last interaction they had was a heated confrontation in which Roberto confronted Mary for stealing his mother's money.
She took my bank, my check card.
After escaping an abusive relationship in her home country, 44-year-old Colombian native Mary Gomez Millet was making a fresh start for herself in southern Florida.
Mary pivoted to being a home health care aide, where she began taking care of an elderly woman.
And when she met her client's son, Roberto Colon, her life changed forever.
They got married just a couple of months after meeting each other.
But now Mary is missing. And as Boynton police pay a visit to her husband, Roberto, he claims his wife may have good reason to hide.
She took my bank, my check card.
He said he had access to his mother's bank accounts, and he noticed money was just missing from the accounts. Credit cards were opened, a new car was leased in his mother's name, and he felt like Mary was behind all this and was stealing from his mother.
I don't know what to do. I don't want to ingress my mother. She worked all her life for that apartment.
Roberto says when he discovered what was going on, he told Mary to bring the new car to his house immediately.
He asked for the vehicle to be delivered back to his residence all the way up in Boynton Beach.
I don't know what to do, man. I've never been presented with this kind of crap.
How could you do this, Mary?
He said that when she arrived at his house, they got into an argument, but he said it wasn't really heated, it wasn't physical.
When I confronted her with this, I said, no, I didn't do anything. But then I had an appointment the same day that she came here to the urologist.
We'll talk about this when I get back from my appointment.
He said the argument ended because he had to go to a doctor's appointment, and he told Mary that when he got back from his doctor's appointment, that he was going to take her back to Hialeah and turn her in to the Hialeah Police Department.
She did it all at my mother's house.
Yeah, they will have to handle everything.
When he left, Mary was still at his house.
He said when he returned from his appointment, the car was still there, but she was gone.
I was just the biggest fool this year.
He assumed that she was scared, that she was going to get arrested, and had a friend come pick her up or something, and now was just hiding out.
Police ask Roberto if he has any idea where Mary could be hiding out. And that's when he admits he doesn't actually know his new wife all that well.
They had only met in December of 2020, and they kind of developed a friendly relationship at first, but then kind of came up with an arrangement of how this would progress.
I needed her to help me with my mother and help me with my house because I'm in the middle of trying to fix crap up, and you know, I can't do everything at one time, and I figured it'd be a good relationship.
Basically, they came up with an agreement that Mary would take care of Roberto's mother. In exchange, Roberto would marry Mary so that she could get U.S. citizenship.
It was an agreement brokered by Roberto's mother.
Mary had said to her that, you know, we're going to have to start helping you look for someone else because my cousin wants me to go to Orlando to fix my papers. The lady said, no, you're not leaving me. You can stay here with me. I'm going to talk to my son. You can marry my son and he can give you the residency. Please don't leave me.
He was very open about their relationship, that they were legally married, but, you know, it was more of a deal that they had made, each of them to benefit from it.
And it got me, to tell you the truth.
After wrapping up their conversation with Roberto, police continue their investigation back at headquarters.
Can they trust Roberto's account of his relationship with Mary?
We were able to pull stuff from Mary's phone records. The main thing that we found was that the day that she was last known to be at Roberto's house, from that point forward, there was no location data, no messages, no phone calls. The phone was off.
And as detectives continue searching for clues, they make an alarming discovery in a police report filed 5 days earlier.
They see that on February 18th, just a few hours after Mary was last seen, Boynton Beach police received a call about an abandoned purse.
So, like, he's over here. Just in the road, you know, in the ditch, right?
Uh-huh.
This purse was located less than a mile from Roberto Colon's house.
And that's not all.
It reportedly had blood on it.
Is that blood? Actually, that's blood.
There's blood on it?
Mm-hmm.
The officer that collected the purse, he brought it back to the police department and immediately brought it into the crime scene lab.
When he turned the purse over to me, there was a substantial amount of blood on the purse. His gloves were actually covered in blood after he handled it.
There was no identification within the purse, but there was some items contained within the purse that were documented and photographed.
There was several pieces of paper in the rosary.
For the detectives investigating Mary's missing persons case, this is no coincidence.
So law enforcement, spidey senses kind of pick up and realize maybe this is Mary's purse.
We had gotten a picture from the family that showed Mary wearing a rosary, and the rosary that she was wearing in the picture was very similar to the rosary we found in the purse.
Just then, detectives learn there's a woman who is eager to speak with them. Mary's close friend, Margarita Arango.
Yeah, patch her through.
She says she has some vital information to share with detectives regarding Mary's disappearance.
Bueno, ¿tú me puedes decir qué fue la última vez que tú hablaste con ella?
Yo hablé el jueves de la semana pasada, a las 2 de la tarde fue la última llamada, el último contacto que tuvimos ella y yo.
¿A las 2 de la tarde?
Sí, señor, a las 2.
Ok.
Ella al mediodía iba para Boynton Beach. Me dijo que iba para allá a llevarle el carro al señor Roberto.
Ella me dijo, Maggi, ya estoy acá en la casa de Roberto. Voy a entregarle el carro. Ya no quiero seguir más con esta situación. Ya estoy aburrida. Ya yo no quiero nada con él.
Entonces le dije, mami, alguna cosa me avisa. Le dije así, dijo, listo. Yo le dije a ella, listo. Entonces cuando yo le dije así, el teléfono de ella y el teléfono mío quedaron abiertos.
The last thing she heard from Mary was she heard Mary scream.
Ella me dijo, Margie, Roberto, Roberto. Y yo sentí un golpe. Y ahí se fue la comunicación.
Boynton Beach police have increased search efforts in the case of missing 44-year-old Mary Gomez Millette after the discovery of a bloody purse less than 5 blocks from her husband's home.
The lab was able to accept the swabs from the purse, and the lab determined that it was consistent with human blood.
But there wasn't enough of a sample for them to be able to come back with a definitive DNA analysis one way or the other.
Now, Mary's friend Margarita Arango is providing even more reason for police to suspect foul play.
She said she was on the phone with Mary when she was at Roberto's house.
Margarita told law enforcement that she heard Mary screaming, "No, no, no, Roberto." And then the phone cut out. And that was the last she heard from Mary.
Yo sentí como que el tipo la agredió a ella, como si le hubiera quedado el celular. Algo tuvo que haberle hecho el tipo a ella porque después de ese momento ya yo no voy a tener más comunicación con ella.
From the phone records, we know that from that point forward, that phone was off.
And when Margarita heard that Mary had gone missing, she knew she needed to inform police about what she'd witnessed.
Lo único que yo quería era encontrar a Mari. Yo quería encontrarle y darle un abrazo y saber que ella estaba bien.
Police decide it's time to bring Roberto Colon in for a formal interview.
Go ahead and just give me your legal name. Roberto Colon.
Detectives confront Roberto with the information and evidence that they've found. They tell him about the conversation they had with Margarita, and they also confront him about the bloody purse.
Her purse? Yeah. We have her purse. It has blood on it. You know it's her purse? 100% it's her purse. Okay. So we need your help in making sense of that because I can't make sense of it.
Roberto says he knows nothing about it. And to prove that he's innocent, he agrees to submit to a DNA sample.
He consented to giving us his DNA. He took his shirt off so we could take pictures of his body to make sure there was no injuries. I mean, he was just so compliant.
Detectives have a lot of information, but not enough to arrest him.
They still don't have a body.
So detectives ask Roberto for permission to search his home.
You're okay if we go back now? We might need you to stay outside for a little bit while we do this search. We can spray this chemical that will show us if there's any blood or anything. Yeah.
Police ask, hey, can we walk inside and just take a look and make sure Mary's not here?
Is you okay with that? Yeah.
He gave us consent, so he was allowed to be there, and we just had to do what we needed to do.
After arriving at the home, it's not long before investigators notice a chilling piece of evidence.
One of the crime scene techs noticed a little speckle of blood on the front door of the house.
Inside the home, there's additional cause for alarm.
The house inside did not have floors. It was bare concrete. Did not have drywall in many places. It was just kind of like a sheetrock wall, unfinished.
They asked him about that, and he said that he's been renovating his home, and so he ripped up some of the floorboards and has yet to replace them.
But out in the garage, crime scene techs uncover the most alarming evidence of all.
Roberto drove a Chevrolet Suburban, and the back seat of that vehicle was inside that garage next to the dog crate. I noticed what appeared to be bloodstains on the bottom of that seat. There was a large green toolbox on the floor of the garage. There was possible blood spatter on that, and the wall above that seat and toolbox.
We knew that with the blood and the spatter, someone was more than likely killed in that garage.
The disappearance of 44-year-old Mary Gomez Millette has led Boynton Beach detectives back to the home of her husband, Roberto Colon, where they've just discovered what appears to be blood spatter.
So we did the stringing and we did all the calculations for the blood spatter analysis.
While we were doing that, Roberto was standing at the door and kind of asking what Tina was doing. So I decided just to tell him, like, hey, listen, we found some spots there that look like blood spatter, and she's collecting samples of those. He said, listen, you guys can test that blood all you want. That's gonna be animal blood from my dog.
He mentioned that was from his dog's tail that was cut or something, and I knew from my experience that didn't come from a dog. We knew that with the blood and the spatter that someone was more than likely killed in that garage.
When the blood test results come back, they confirm everyone's worst fears.
It was the next day that we got the results and were able to say that that blood was human blood that we collected in the workshop and on the front door.
But without a body, police are unable to prove it is actually Mary Gomez Molet's blood.
They didn't have any DNA from Mary, so they can't confirm if the blood actually came from her.
Regardless, investigators decide it's time to bring in the cadaver dogs.
What they ultimately ended up doing is bringing a cadaver dog to go around the inside and then the outside, the perimeter of the home. But the dog never indicated that they found anything of decomp in that backyard or contained within the home.
Even though the cadaver dog came up short, investigators aren't ready to walk away just yet.
Hello, Detective Valari.
A short time after us beginning our search, I receive a call from the neighbor almost at the same time. And he tells me, hey, listen, this guy's over here and he's saying some crazy stuff.
He's in another room.
He says Roberto is saying things like they are not going to find her.
The neighbor also tells police that Roberto keeps asking him to look outside and see if there's a hearse parked in front of his home.
You guys need to be careful.
The neighbor was concerned for our safety because Roberto made some statements that I should just get an axe and charge at them and force them to kill me, or I believe he said I should get an AK-47 and just mow them down.
All right, yeah, we'll come right over. Don't worry, we won't let him know you called us.
Okay. So we end up going to the neighbor's house to make contact with Roberto.
Hey, buddy.
These type of psychological and emotional moments are important with investigations like this. It's clear Roberto is in a very agitated state, and detectives want to see if his heightened emotions will cause him to slip up and say something that will help in their investigation.
How typical. You're more concerned about her than what she did to me and my mother for months.
He becomes very distressed, going on about the detectives wasting his time.
He starts making statements, very vulgar statements about Mary, calling her names. It's actually at that point, too, that he refers to his workshop as an abattoir, which is a slaughterhouse, specifically usually for animals.
Whoa. What's that supposed to mean?
Roberto, at this point, seems to be alluding to police that he killed Mary. But when they continue to directly ask him if he had anything to do with it, he tells the police, do your job, find the body.
It seemed like he was just taunting us and trying to play a game with us, So we end up going, hey, listen, you're not going to be able to go home right now. We're holding your house.
We're going to get you a hotel. You can come back when we're done.
Initially, he did not want to go to the hotel. He wanted to stay at the neighbor's house. And the neighbor, being the nice guy that he was, he said, listen, I will house your pets, but given the circumstances, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable with you staying here. So Roberto agreed to go to the hotel.
As darkness falls over the Boynton Beach property, detectives face the frustrating reality that they're not any closer to locating Mary.
There was a specific field where we knew Roberto would go to walk his dog. So we have officers searching those big fields, wooded areas. We have officers in boats, in canal banks in the area, checking for any evidence.
But by the next morning, there's still no sign of Mary.
We were doing subpoenas and getting back Roberto's financial records, going through phone records.
That's when detectives get a visit from Roberto's former tenant, Luciana Torres.
Yeah, go ahead and send her on.
Luciana had a bunker or trailer that was located on Roberto's property.
It was just a temporary arrangement. She didn't live there very long.
Luciana tells police that she was often in earshot when Roberto spoke to Mary.
She's overheard conversations that he's had with Mary, ending with phrases like, "I'm gonna kill this woman and bury her in my backyard."
Those are his exact words?
It wasn't until this conversation with Luciana that I said, you know what, I think now at this point, I have enough to go on to get another search warrant to dig the yard. The only thing that's given me some apprehension about this, I felt like that first dog that did the search, that if she was there, that dog would have hit.
But the cadaver dog trainer convinces the detective to give it one more shot.
He actually told me, he said, listen, at the end of the day, if my dog doesn't hit, you should still dig up that ground.
So investigators return to Roberto's home and get to work.
There was a shed back in the backyard, and off to the side of this shed was an area where there was bricks laid on the ground. I remember Rob looking at that area and calling me over.
If you notice in photographs, all the patio stones have grass or weeds growing in between the cracks. As I'm probing, I'm noticing that these bricks have no grass or weeds growing in the cracks.
These bricks, they're very fresh. Like I could just remove them very easy. It's like they're almost just recently set.
And I started moving a couple bricks going further in, and then I hit something.
You could smell the smell that we know of, unfortunately, from, working all these years of decomposition.
I remember I looked up at him, and he was staring at me, and I'm like, there she is.
Boynton Beach police have been searching for evidence that 44-year-old Mary Gomez Millet's husband, Roberto Colon, is responsible for her disappearance. Now they may have finally found it in Roberto's own backyard.
I would say it was 3 to 4 feet below ground is when we first noticed skin.
I remember I looked up at him, and he was staring at me, and I'm like, there she is.
As they're shuffling the dirt away, we start to see that this body doesn't have any legs below the kneecap or a head.
They're not able to find the head, but what they do find is a metal steel pipe that was buried next to the torso. Detectives believe that this is the murder weapon.
That pipe was solid steel, but it was bent, like it hit something hard. And, we later came to find out that both of Mary's forearms were broken and the bones were completely cracked, almost kind of like a defensive posture.
The remains are transported to the medical examiner's office.
She did still have skin on her fingers, so the medical investigator was able to get fingerprints from her.
They are able to compare the fingerprints they took from the torso to the fingerprints that the Colombian consulate has. It's a positive match. This is the torso of Mary Gomez Millet.
Cuando me entró la llamada a darme la noticia de que la habían encontrado allá en la casa de este hombre, en las condiciones que la encontraron, eso para mí fue muy duro, demasiado. Me sentía muy triste.
When the detectives tells me we found Mary, but unfortunately I have to tell you that she's not alive. My whole world just stops right there. Like, how am I going to tell the family? You know, they were still keeping that hope over there.
Fortunately, though, police now have enough evidence to charge Roberto Colon with first-degree murder. But even in handcuffs, Roberto is still smug as ever.
Prior to him being transported to the police department, I wanted to see if he would make any last statements to the neighbor.
The neighbor came out and said, "Hey man, what's going on? Is everything okay?" And he just laughed and said, "Yeah, everything's fine. Don't worry. They're never going to be able to put Humpty Dumpty back together again."
Humpty Dumpty, as we all know, is a character that had all his limbs fall apart. So what Roberto is saying is chilling.
Getting him to reveal the location of Mary's head is going to be no easy task.
However, detectives know they have to try. Back at the police station, they sit down with Roberto once again.
He wasn't very talkative at this point. I started the interview by showing him a picture of the body, just to see his reaction, and he was kind of not even fazed by it.
Roberto, I gotta say to you, man, you're crafty, you have outsmarted us in a lot of ways, and even now, after we have found her body, we're still asking ourselves a lot of questions, okay?
Now they're at a pivotal moment in the interrogation. They could tell Roberto doesn't want to tell them the truth, but they use their skills to try and get it out of him.
You know, like I told Marco, the other guys, like, he's smart, man. This guy's smart. He still has us right now, scratching our head, trying to figure this out.
Detectives continue to press him about where Mary's head is and where her legs are. Roberto refuses to give any further information and says that there will never be closure for anyone.
We don't have the head. Okay.
What do you want me to do about it?
Detectives at this point believe that they're not going to get any further information from Roberto. He's just going to continue playing games. They book him on first-degree murder charges, and then they send Roberto over to Palm Beach County Jail.
In February 2022, almost 1 year after Mary Gomez Molet's murder, Roberto Colon heads to trial.
It's weird because, you know, you'd think, how could you even be nervous? You found her in his backyard, but there's never an easy trial to go into as a detective.
Right off the bat, it becomes clear to prosecutors that this calculated killer isn't going down without a fight.
He says that Mary is the one who caused all of this, and he acted out in self-defense.
Mary was very trusting, very loving, and in a way, very naive too. She didn't see the bad in anybody. That didn't exist in her. She believed in the goodness of everyone. In the world that we're living in, at one point I had said I wish she was more smart about seeing the bad out there. Maybe this would have prevented her, but you know what? After time had passed by and analyzing who she was and how she was all about love, there was nothing that we could have done to change who she was.
After discovering the remains of 44-year-old Mary Gomez Molet in her husband's backyard, Florida officials are hoping for a swift conviction.
It's always difficult for prosecution when you don't have an eyewitness to a crime, but with all of the circumstantial evidence, everything was pointing in the same direction, and that direction was directly at Roberto Colon.
But as the trial gets underway, the defense presents an astonishing claim that Roberto was acting in self-defense.
The defense did the unique decision of calling Roberto Colon to the stand to testify in his own defense. And when Roberto testified, he talked all about how Mary thieved from him and stole from his mother.
Roberto says that he confronted Mary and she became violent.
He said that they were walking out towards the garage area and that she had her purse, she swung it at him and hit him with it. and that he basically lost control and picked up the nearest item and just hit her in the head with it.
But when it's the prosecution's turn, they methodically disassemble the defense's case.
Mary's screams that her friend Margarita heard over the phone suggest that it was Roberto who attacked first and not the other way around.
Roberto planned this homicide. He lured her to his residence. He knew what he was going to do.
Roberto?
There was absolutely no proof that Mary was stealing. She was using the mother's money, but for the mother's caretaking.
Even though he had no confirmed proof that she in fact was doing this, he decided he was going to take matters into his own hands and beat her to death.
He then dismembered her body because he didn't know what to do with it after he killed her.
Based on the disturbing statements he went on to make to his neighbor and the police, it's clear that he didn't feel any regret for what he'd done. Roberto was glad he'd murdered Mary until he got caught for it.
When I cross-examined him, I asked him how many times he hit her, and he said he just kept hitting her repeatedly, over and over and over. It was very obvious to my jury that he was reliving and sort of fantasizing about his crime.
When prosecutors question Roberto about Mary's remaining limbs, they don't get the answer they were hoping for.
Roberto testified that he buried them in the backyard, but when I tell you law enforcement ripped up that backyard, they would have found it. And so, truthfully, I don't know what he did with the legs, nor do we truthfully know what he did with her head.
When the jury retires to deliberate, everyone is holding their breath.
They deliberated for longer than I thought. That's always nerve-wracking. I thought it would be 10-minute deliberation, but it went on for, I think, a couple hours.
However, it's soon clear no one is sympathizing with Roberto.
When they returned, they had found him guilty of premeditated murder, and he was then sentenced to life in prison without parole.
This case stood out because of the brutality. I mean, I've never had a case like this where it was that violent and somebody did something that brazen.
He felt justified in what he did. He thought he could get away with it.
La peor decisión que la mamá de Roberto tomó, haberle presentado a su hijo, fue una persona muy espectacular, una buena amiga, una buena mamá, una buena hija, una buena mujer. No encuentro palabras negativas para Mari, no las encuentro.
She came here from Colombia to start a new life. And soon after she arrived, she didn't know that she was making a deal with the devil.
Oh my God, I wish I could hug her one more time. Mary was a beautiful soul, always. No matter the hard time that she was having, she will swallow all her pain and give you nothing but love.
Mary's loved ones hope her story can serve as a cautionary tale for others who decide to give their trust and love without boundaries.
Maybe this had to happen for us to spread the word for other women who are being victims to please speak, come out, don't fear. Fear is what's gonna lead you to a nightmare, to a situation like this. There's always help out there.
On the body?
No. Oh, looks like the shooting came from the passenger side.
It's like Swiss cheese. Somebody has wet this car up.
Oh, large caliber.
We don't know what we're dealing with here, but we know this ain't no pistol, this ain't no handgun. We're dealing with an assault rifle.
What do you think?
AK-47 would be my guess.
Now, this seems like a targeted attack.
This wasn't a drive-by shooting. This is a shooting where a pedestrian had to enter onto this property, approach this car, and just wet it up, just at close range.
He came right up on top of him.
Yeah.
This person, whoever shot our victim, executed him. They wanted him dead.
The 911 call came from the homeowners here.
Yeah? They know the Vic?
They said no.
The people that lived inside that dwelling said they heard the gunfire, they looked outside, they saw a strange and mysterious car in their driveway that they didn't recognize, and they called police.
That's weird, because the car is all the way up their driveway.
Right.
I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Let's dig in.
Yep.
Let me hit the other side.
There's blood all over the driver's seat. We open up the glove box and we can clearly see
I think I know who our victim is.
this car's registered to a guy named Titus Cole.
Hey, detectives. On the text found something.
On the way.
At the beginning of this driveway, there's a black bandana.
Nice.
We believe it was probably left by whoever's involved in this particular shooting.
We gotta do our CSI thing with this here.
Yeah, might get some DNA. We've got a lot of testing to get done.
Yeah.
We've got shell casings, we've got blood swabbings, we got the bandana. We collect all of that evidence.
Who was the first on scene?
That would be Officer Camello. I'll get him for you.
You're the man.
Thanks.
We have to rely on his senses, what he saw when he arrived. And it's important because the victim was gone by the time we got there.
All right. Walk us through it.
When I first showed up, there was somebody with the victim.
He said there was an older black gentleman on scene, and he got his name. He identified him as Darrell.
Possible witness.
Why was he even here?
Claimed he just happened by.
Darrell said he was visiting the neighborhood. He has a sister that lives there. He heard the gunfire, came upon this crime scene, and decided to help out this victim in need.
Where's Daryl now?
I don't know. I turned my attention back to the victim. I looked up. He was gone.
This is common. Witnesses sometimes, they will dip on you if you don't put a tether on them.
I'm sorry.
Hey, no. We may find him. Don't worry.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you got Quinn.
It's the medical examiner's office calling.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so we got an ID on our victim here. So it's not Titus Cole. It's Alfred Boyd, and he's 44 years old.
Okay, so now we have another mystery to solve.
So now we have an identification of our victim. We have a car belonging to a Titus Cole. We got to see how those two things match up and why Titus Cole's car is in his driveway with Alfred Boyd's dead body in it.
So he died of multiple gunshot wounds to the heart and liver. He lives in Clayton County.
Clayton County? That's a hike. That's like 20 miles.
So why is Alfred Boyd in the darkness of night in our city in a driveway shot up with an AK-47?
I don't get it.
Yeah, and they said the medical examiner already gave a notification to the family, but I think we should go pay him a visit.
Of course. Let's do it.
Let's go.
The way me and my partner roll, we still want to go out to that family and let them know who was taking charge of the investigation and let them know that we cared about what happened to their loved ones.
Thanks, guys.
So Quinn and I rolled out to Alfred Boyd's home in Riverdale, Clayton County, a nice suburban home.
Look, we really appreciate your time.
And we're sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
The wife identified herself as Sheena, and the daughter we came to find out was known as Danica. This is a bad time. They've received the worst news they're ever going to hear about their loved one over the phone.
I'm sorry. I'm still trying to process everything.
We understand that. We want to know about people in Alfred's life.
Like who?
Did our victim have any enemies? Anybody out to get him? The answer is absolutely not. They said everybody loved this victim.
Tell us about Titus Cole.
Alfred was driving his car when we found him.
I don't know who that is.
So we're scratching our heads at this point of how our victim ended up in Titus Cole's vehicle.
Do you have any idea why he'd be in Atlanta?
I really don't have a clue.
Something was going on. This brother may have been leading a double life, and maybe the family just wasn't aware of it.
All right, does Selwyn Avenue ring a bell at all?
No.
While me and Vince are talking, I'm feeling this adult daughter, Danica's eyes. There's something in her eyes. It's almost like she wants to say something, but not in front of her mother.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Hey, if you think of anything, please, don't hesitate to give us a call, okay?
The family could either not know anything or they have some information and they're just not comfortable yet sharing that with us. But right now, we gotta let it ride the way it is.
Thank you.
We gotta move on. We decide to head back to the crime scene and speak with the homeowner.
Okay, look, we just want to go back over your statement with you.
Sure.
All right, so It says you didn't know who the person was in the car.
Right. I didn't know.
So that's strange, right?
This doesn't make sense to us. So at this point, we need to dig a little deeper.
Go over what you remember happened.
I was sleeping, and I heard gunshots.
She says she looks outside. She sees an unknown person in a car in the driveway, and she sees an older black male standing next to the car. We got to think, this has to be Daryl.
All right, so what happened next?
And then I heard a woman outside hollering.
She actually said she heard a woman scream. Now, if that's true, we got a third person on our crime scene.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you see the woman?
Yeah, she was an older black chick. That's about all I could tell.
Okay. Now, is there anything else that you left out that we should know?
We ain't feeling it at all.
Hey, Felicia, you understand what's happening here, right? Hey, this is really important. Look, the truth is going to reveal itself eventually, so...
All of a sudden, she gets real quiet. She's nervous.
This sister is overwhelmed. It's like something washed over her. She's got something to tell us.
There is something I need to get off my chest.
Anytime someone says, I want to get something off my chest, you might as well have a drum roll, because we know what's coming next. It's good stuff.
I lied to that cop.
This investigation is about to jump off.
They wanted to do drugs.
We knew there was more to this story.
Terry's dead. Who's Terry?
This murder was a setup. To solve this case, we'll turn to an old friend.
I heard you looking for me.
His actions had deadly consequences.
Go, 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 go!
A new lead reveals a killer connection.
We like him as a suspect in 2 separate homicides down here.
There was no denying the similarities.
Well, we heard you know who killed your boy.
Yeah.
This was unbelievable.
I thought we were gonna die.
He did this once before, he was gonna do it again.
What are we looking at?
Victor was a black male sitting in the driver's seat.
In December of 2008, 44-year-old Alfred Boyd is found shot to death inside a car on a driveway in Southwest Atlanta.
We just want to go back over your statement with you.
Sure.
The homeowner, Felicia, claims she doesn't know Alfred or anything about the murder.
So, that's strange, right?
We feel something's up with her. We feel like she's not telling the truth.
Now, is there anything else that you left out that we should know?
I lied to that cop.
Finally, the truth comes out when Felicia admits to giving us a false statement.
All right, break it down. Take your time.
Felicia's about to give our case some light.
I knew that dude that got killed, but I ain't know him as no Alfred. We just all called him Hoganville.
Why'd they call him that?
He said that's where he was from.
Hoganville?
So Felicia goes on to say that Hoganville actually came over that night with another gentleman to see her friend Nika, who was inside the house.
So what was the other guy's name?
I don't know. For real, I don't know.
So we're thinking that there's got to be Daryl, the witness, described by the police officer that first responded.
So Alfred came over here to see Nika.
Yeah. They wanted to do drugs, and Alfred, he bought it for everybody.
He actually gave money to Nika to go buy some crack and bring it back to share with everybody. And that's exactly what she did.
We was all partying, you know, smoking, and I shouldn't have done that.
Felicia says after all of this, it was late. Everybody's getting tired, and Hoganville was going to go home.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I was getting ready for bed, and I heard the loudest gunfire. And that's when I called 911.
Felicia finally looked outside and said she never saw the gunman.
Me and Nika, we were so scared.
Where can we find Nika?
I don't know.
Listen, is Nika involved in this murder in any way?
I don't think so.
Look, stay in touch. If you see Nika again, give us a holler, okay? Thank you.
Right now, we got Felicia on our squad. She's gonna call us when she sees Nika. We also need to find Daryl.
He was with Alfred when the shooting happened, and he survived. He's gotta know something. There's a lot of things that just aren't making sense in this case.
One of them being the fact that the victim was found in a car registered to a guy named Titus Cole.
We need to know if he's involved in this. So we called him up and arranged a visit.
Titus Cole?
Yeah.
We tracked down Titus Cole, and he actually also lives in Riverdale, just like our victim.
So, as I mentioned, we recovered your vehicle.
That's great.
Yeah, well, it belongs to a homicide that we're working.
What? Terry's dead? Who's Terry?
He goes on to say, Terry's the guy I let borrow my car. So we had to break it to him. It's not Terry, it's a guy named Alfred Boyd.
Do you know Alfred? No.
What about Felicia? Lives over at Selvin Avenue.
No, sir.
1 and 1 is not equaling 2 here. Something's wrong with this whole situation.
Nobody's seen Terry. He's probably cracked out somewhere.
Terry used to have a drug problem. He's thinking he lent him his car. Maybe he went out binging again.
So, it could be that he sold the car to get high and now he's laying low.
I mean, based off our experience, people struggling with drugs, in particular crack during 2008, selling your buddy's car to get high, that's a normal day in Atlanta.
Or maybe he pawned it to Alfred in exchange for drugs or money.
We don't feel like Titus is connected to this at all. He's been truthful with us, straight up.
Look, we'll let you know when we can return the vehicle to you. All right?
Thanks, Titus.
Is that you?
So we're headed back to the office. My cell phone blows up.
Yeah, you got Quinn. Go for it.
I heard you looking for me.
Guy on the other end of the line says his name is Daryl, and then he tells me his last name is Jones.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, hey, Quinn, it's reunion time.
Hold on, wait a minute. Is this Daryl from the Charles Smith case?
Yeah, man.
We realize it's the same Daryl Jones that we had from a homicide back in 2003.
He was a critical linchpin to solving that homicide. I'm wondering what he's got to offer on this one. We got to talk to him.
Give me like an hour.
All right, see you then. Yep.
All right, let's see if Daryl can go 2 for 2.
His information was spot on back then. We're hoping now his information's spot on now.
Okay, so walk us through the night of the murder.
I was with Hoganville.
And it was just the 2 of you?
There was a girl by the name of Blondie with us.
Now we're thinking back to when we talked to Felicia and she said she heard a woman screaming. So we're thinking now, is Blondie that same person? If she is, we got another witness we got to find.
Okay. What were y'all doing?
Just hanging out.
So according to our boy Daryl, they're out having their own kind of fun.
Hey, they won't stop calling me. Hello?
According to Daryl, it was a girl named Nika that kept blowing up Hoganville's phone. I mean, she called him over and over again, wanting him to come visit her.
Now, you sure it was Nika?
Yeah.
We're thinking now that, didn't Nika lure our victim to the crime scene?
We arrived at the house. Blondie stayed in the car while we went inside.
Daryl pretty much tells us the exact same story word for word we got from Felicia. So everything's matching up now. We like it when it's congruent.
Everything was cool until we left.
Alfred goes to the car while Daryl stays on the front porch talking to Nika.
Come on, man.
Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a man emerges with a gun.
What kind of gun was it?
Something like an assault rifle.
Okay.
Daryl really broke this thing down. I mean, he says this gunman walked up on the driveway directly on the front of the passenger side and started shooting.
All right, what happened to Blondie?
She was laying down.
This brother is literally shooting through the car. He says Blondie had to make herself small so she didn't get hit. It's amazing she wasn't killed as well.
This was a straight ambush. The way Daryl describes this gunman showed up out of nowhere and had one target in mind, and that was our victim sitting in the driver's seat.
After the shooting, Blondie jumped out the car and took off.
Did you get a good look at the shooter?
He said he was dressed in dark clothes. He had him at like maybe 5'8" in height.
He was wearing a bandana on his face. Ran down the driveway, jumped in a waiting car, and just peeled off.
Damn, the bandana. This has to be our shooter's bandana. We were right on point with collecting that evidence.
All right, what kind of car?
A dark-colored sedan.
Did you see the plate?
Nah.
He said there was a lone gunman on this. So that's good information. But we also got a getaway driver. That could possibly be somebody we flip later.
I just ran to my man, tried to help him, but there's nothing I could do.
Okay. Do you have any idea why he was targeted?
Daryl is about to send this investigation in a whole new direction.
Well, he did hit a lick a few days back.
This isn't a coincidence. This has got to be connected.
Tell us what you know about the lick.
This was all about revenge.
Again.
Well, he did hit a lick a few days back. Tell us what you know about the lick. Look, I know he robbed somebody for 3 stacks. 3 stacks?
I mean, on the street is $3,000 cash. That's why he was being so nice, buying everybody's crack. And he essentially was the Robin Hood of the hood or something.
You know who he robbed?
Nah, I'll tell you. I swear. Okay, thanks for this, man. Appreciate it. Can I get a lift?
Yeah.
At this point, we don't know who Alfred Boyd may have robbed, but we have to appreciate the fact that this may be the motive for revenge. So we thank our brother Daryl, drop him back off at the house.
Keep your ear to the streets out here, man.
Yeah, sure.
And out of nowhere, I get a call on my cell from our victim's daughter, Danica.
How are you?
Well, I've been thinking, and there's something you should know.
Okay. Hey, take your time.
There's an apartment that I've dropped my dad off at before.
She thinks those people there may have some answers as to why he was killed.
What are their names?
2 women, Priscilla and Toya.
We want her to know, no matter what's going on with her dad, we got the case. We're gonna work this thing to the end.
All right, we're gonna look into this. Thank you so much.
Let's go pay these ladies a visit.
We head to an apartment complex about a mile from Alfred's house in Riverdale.
Me and Vin roll over there where Priscilla and Toya live, and we go over there cold.
We want to ask you a few questions.
About Alfred?
That's right.
Priscilla and Toya already knew our victim was dead. The word on the street travels fast, even 20 miles away.
We don't want to get killed next.
They were so overwhelmed with fear, you could see it in their eyes. They were gripped with it.
Why would that happen?
Alfred came by here a few days ago. Before he was killed, he was with Nika.
Here's Nika again. Nika keeps popping up in this story. Every time we make a turn, it's Nika, Nika, Nika.
Then he and Toya went to buy some rock.
Toya starts to take the lead. She says they go to this apartment complex. There's a guy there selling dope.
We went to the trap and got high. Afterwards, we went in the car and I was tripping.
See all that money in there?
What?
I gotta get it.
Alfred tells her, I'm going back inside and rob those guys. Toya was out of her mind with fear.
No!
She says Alfred Boyd reached under the floorboard of his car, pulled out a gun.
Just keep the car running.
Wait! Don't do it!
And walks right back in the apartment.
I felt like he was gone forever.
He comes back running, telling her to drive. He's got a bag of money in his hand, and she punches out.
Go, 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 go!
I was freaking out. Then when I got onto the freeway, I saw a car following us.
She says a dark sedan is following them at a high rate of speed, shooting out the window.
I thought we were gonna die.
This is crazy. So it makes sense of why she's so scared.
I don't know how, but I lost them. So I thought we were good. Then Alfred got killed.
They think this shooter is coming for them. The fact that Toya was driving the getaway car, she feels like she's next.
Hearing this, we're totally convinced. that the people that our victim, Alfred Boyd, robbed are the people who committed his murder 2 days later.
Did you get a good look at these guys?
Not really.
No.
Young, black guys.
It is now the responsibility for me and Vince to work in unreported robbery.
Thank you for your help, okay? If you think of anything, you need anything, give me a holler, okay?
Ladies?
Our case was going at a snail's pace. Now it just got gas. We're moving at 100 miles an hour.
Yo, who saw this coming?
Right.
Now, my phone blows up.
Yeah, you got Quinn.
It's Felicia. She's on the other end whispering, yo, Nika's back. She's here. I'm gonna stall her till you get here.
Wait, all right. You saying Nika's there right now?
We got to get over there. Right now, Nika has some explaining to do. Her name has come up every turn we've taken so far. So now it's time to come after her and hit her with the hard questions.
Nika's the missing piece in all this.
Yeah, we on the way. All right.
Alfred came by here a couple of days ago before he was killed.
We've just uncovered a twist in the Alfred Boyd murder case.
We went to the trap and got high. Afterwards, we went in the car and Al was tripping.
He robbed drug dealers at a trap house in Southwest Atlanta.
Go, 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 go!
So we have to consider, is it because of that robbery that he committed? Is that the reason why he was killed?
You got Quinn.
We finally got a bead on the one person who might know.
You saying Nika's there right now?
At this point, we're pretty sure that Nika's this missing piece of this puzzle.
Yeah, we on the way.
As we're pulling up, we see Felicia on the porch pointing to a young black female.
Yo, Nika. We need to holler at you real quick.
Without even saying anything, she just gets in the backseat of her car like she already knew the deal.
We need some answers from you.
What do you want to know?
Once we get Nika back to the homicide office, we get her into a room, this sister is just giving it up.
Start with everything leading up to the night of the murder.
According to Nika, it all started the night before Alfred robbed the drug dealers. They had gone to the same place to buy crack.
We rolled in, and I know the dealer. He goes by Peanut. I dated him a long time ago.
They hadn't seen each other in 2 years, but they're friendly. Like, they left on good terms. So Nika leaves with Peanut's number.
Alfred told me he didn't like the guy.
Peanut didn't recognize me, but I know him. Years ago, he pulled a gun out on me.
What?
And humiliated me.
She explains that Alfred said that guy did some stuff to me with that gun that just wasn't right.
I'm gonna make him pay.
And the best way to get him back is come back and rob his trap.
I told him, please don't do this.
Nika was like, wait a minute, this is gonna come back on me because Peanut's gonna know that she brought this guy into his drug trap.
But he wouldn't listen. The next day, he went back there with Toya and robbed Peanut.
And Peanut figured it out.
Oh, yeah. He started calling me. And finally, I had no choice but to call him back.
What'd Peanut say?
If I didn't help him find Alfred, he'd kill me.
She's basically just in them streets, assed out. She has no cover. She felt like she had to do it, but she felt bad about it.
You set up Alfred that night.
She actually called our victim.
Girl won't stop calling me.
Once he was there, called Peanut and told her where he could find his victim at.
This all makes sense. This makes the ambush theory clear cut. We know he was lying in wait for Alfred Boyd to step outside.
And you saw Peanut kill Alfred?
No.
Nika says she didn't actually see the shooting other than hearing the shots. The front door to the house was closed.
We need Peanut's cell phone number, all right?
That's like a fingerprint. So that's a good thing. We're gonna be able to figure out who he is. But she also tells us, based off her relationship from 2 years ago, she knows his first name is Fabian.
This is good information.
Right now, our critical witness, her life's in danger. We can't let Nika go back to her friend Felicia's house.
We convinced Nika to leave the area and lay low.
We gotta put her on ice. Because at this point, Peanut may try to kill Nika.
Our priority is to identify Peanut.
East Point PD.
It's Vince Velasquez, APD Homicide.
We reach out to our colleagues over in East Point Homicide. They run the name Peanut through their database and the first name Fabian, and they get a hit immediately.
What's the name?
Fabian Powers. I'm sending everything to your inbox.
They provide us a photograph. We learned that Fabian Powers, at 21 years of age, at this point in 2008, has a rap sheet that's a mile long.
We like him as a suspect in 2 separate homicides down here.
2 open cases?
Mm-hmm. Both cold at this point.
But then she drops a bombshell on us.
Both of our murders were with an AK-47.
This is crazy. This kid is a suspect, person of interest in 2 other unsolved murders, in AK-47 assault rifles being a weapon of choice.
Look, we need to work together on this one, okay?
Sounds good.
This kid is dangerous. We have to get him off of the street ASAP before he kills somebody else.
What did Peanut say?
If I didn't help him find Alfred, he'd kill me.
We just pieced together the motive and prime suspect for the murder of Alfred Boyd. We now know that our victim, Alfred Boyd, robbed a drug dealer named Peanut, a.k.a. Fabian Powers, 2 days before he was killed.
You set up Alfred, didn't they?
According to our witness, Nika, Fabian killed our victim in an act of revenge.
We like him as a suspect in 2 separate homicides down here.
Look, we need to work together on this one, okay?
Sounds good.
We're dealing with an extremely violent person. We got to get this kid off the street.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good. How can I help you guys?
We're trying to find a missing link to our case here.
We go visit East Point detective assigned to both of those unsolved murders, Cynthia Watson, and see if we can just learn more about Fabian Powers.
Well, have a look. To be honest, we really don't have much on this guy.
In the first East Point case, Detective Watson tells us they got nothing but hearsay information on that, with no witnesses even identified.
The second case had the same MO, but supposedly a witness put Fabian at the scene.
Okay, so the victim on murder number 2 is James Jackson.
That's right.
We know from East Point telling us that the case involving the murder of James Jackson involved some kind of robbery.
What happened to the witness?
He disappeared. For all I know, Fabian got to him.
There's nothing really concrete in there that can lend any kind of assistance in our investigation.
I wish I had more for you guys.
Thank you. We'll let you know if something pops up on our end.
Sounds good. I'll do the same.
Thanks.
Other than the similarities in the case, the same type of weapon used, it doesn't put us any closer in solving the Alfred Boyd homicide and charging Fabian Powers with his murder.
We managed to track down Blondie, but she never saw the shooter at all.
Several months went by without any leads. We followed up with East Point PD, but all was silent on their end as well.
We decided to circle back with Nika.
Hey, girl. How we doing?
I'm good.
We go by to pay her a visit in hopes of possibly gaining some knowledge about these open cases down at East Point. Maybe she knows something.
Any update on the case yet?
Kind of. We want to show you something. Hop in.
So, me and Vince just confront Nika with the information East Point gave us.
Check this out.
All right, so what do you know about Fabian dropping bodies over in East Point?
I know he's the one that killed Kurt.
She didn't know anything about the first homicide that we were given, but she did know about the James Jackson, but she only knew him as Cut.
All right, how do you know that it was Fabian that killed Cut?
George told me. He witnessed the murder.
She said that her friend George, he told her everything that he saw, but he never went and talked to police.
How can we find George?
He won't just show up, but there is a way for you to hook up with him.
She tells us that what he does, he's essentially Uber for crack.
Here's his number.
Okay.
If you're in the need of a ride to the trap house to get some dope, George will give you a ride if you share.
You calling him?
Absolutely. Hey, bro, man. Yeah, I need a lift, and I heard you the man to call.
We're out-of-the-box type cats. I mean, we've always done this.
Yeah, 4725 C Drive.
Like we knew This was it. If this doesn't work, we may never solve this case.
I see in a little bit.
We had to go to what George is known for giving people rides. And that's exactly what we did.
Yo, George.
He sees us sitting there in a car, and he realizes he's been talking to the cops the whole time.
We ain't trying to bust you. We just want to talk.
We've been talking to Nika.
We get right to it. We ask him, does he know James Jackson?
Cut was my boy, man.
Well, we heard you know who killed your boy.
Yeah.
He says without warning, he saw a guy that he knew actually produce an assault rifle and shoot his friend.
It was Nut. Nut did it.
We also know that Nut is Peanut. That's Fabian Powers.
Is Nut one of these guys?
We let him view the lineup. We're effectively working in East Point criminal homicide.
That's Nut, number 3.
So at this point, we have an eyewitness that saw Fabian Powers kill East Point victim James Jackson.
Hey, thank you, man. All right, we'll be in touch with you. It's time to tell East Point PD what's happening.
That's right.
It seems we finally have enough to take down Fabian Powers.
We have you connected to multiple homicides out here.
But we're about to be thrown a curveball.
So, Eric, what's the trigger man?
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way we can believe what's going on right now.
That's Nut, man.
It appears that we've tied Fabian Powers, a.k.a. Peanut, the prime suspect in Alfred Boyd's murder, to at least one unsolved homicide in East Point.
It's time to tell East Point PD what's happening.
We reached out to our contact at East Point PD and let them know what we had, that they can arrest Fabian for James Jackson's murder.
Unfortunately, they said it wasn't enough for them to move the case forward. We were absolutely shocked.
The only silver lining in this whole thing is we found out Fabian had an outstanding probation warrant, so we sent that information right over to our fugitive team.
Finally, 4 days shy of a year-long investigation into Alfred Boyd's homicide, our fugitive task force arrested Fabian Powers.
Finally, it was time to get this brother in the box and see what he has to say. From the giddy-up, we tell Fabian Powers why he's in our office, and it ain't for no probation violation.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. We got you linked to multiple homicides out here.
Fabian agrees to speak to us without an attorney.
Let's just start with you getting robbed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know Alfred? Or Hoganville?
Never heard of him.
He denies knowing the victim. He denies knowing the East Point victim. This kid is denying everything.
What about Nika?
Yeah, I know her.
Okay. Because I was finna say, for a minute you had me thinking I had the wrong Fabian Powers right quick.
This is a guy who potentially could have killed 3 people. I mean, that's a lot of weight to carry at age 21. We can feel that. He's very uncomfortable in this room. And at some point, he requests to get out of that room like he was suffocating.
Why don't we get some fresh air real quick, bro?
Yeah, let's do that.
So a lot of times people need some space. They need air. If we take them outside or into the hallway, and they feel more comfortable and relaxed.
All right, look, man. You need to start talking if you want to save yourself.
All right, I got robbed.
Fabian Powers finally broke. He says that he and his best friend Eric Gates were robbed at gunpoint on December 2nd by our victim, Alfred Boyd.
But I didn't shoot nobody.
Fabian says he just took the loss and charged that robbery to the gang. He didn't do anything about it.
He then goes on to say a couple days later, he just happened to be visiting Nika over at a house on Selwyn, and he sees that guy, our victim, who had robbed him.
According to Fabian, they tapped on the glass and said, "Hey man, I want my money back."
And then this old man started talking trash.
Get out of here, little boy.
And he said without warning, his friend Eric Gates, who was brandishing an assault rifle, started firing into the car.
So, Eric was the trigger man.
Yeah.
This isn't making sense at all because if Fabian Powers and stranded Eric is firing into the car, Fabian Powers would have been in the line of fire.
I didn't shoot nobody. I swear.
Give me a second, guys.
It got to the point we're now sitting on the floor with this grown man of 21 years old, and we're consoling him.
While Quinn's still talking to Fabian, I start punching up Eric Gates, and I clearly find out that Eric Gates himself was killed in a homicide after Alfred Boyd was killed.
Eric's dead.
So he's somebody that's very convenient for Fabian Powers to bring up as the shooter because he knows we can't go talk to him. He knows Eric Gates is dead. He's an easy fall guy. He's an easy patsy to throw at us.
All right, look, man. You can't put this on your dead friend. All right? So, I need the truth from you. Now.
And I was straight up with the brother. We got witnesses that put you on that driveway, not anybody else.
Were you wearing a bandana that night?
I think so.
Fabian tells us he normally wears a bandana around his ankles, so it could be his. Based off everything me and my partner handled in this investigation, without a shadow of a doubt, we believe 100% Fabian Powers is the shooter that killed our victim, Alfred Boyd.
Whether Fabian Powers ever admitted that he actually pulled the trigger, he's putting himself at the crime scene. He admits that our victim actually robbed him.
Look, let's go back into the room, all right? Let's talk some more.
This is a wealth of evidence. We got exactly what we need. On Christmas Eve 2009, Fabian Powers is charged with the murder of our victim, Alfred Boyd, and James Jackson from East Point, Georgia. He takes a plea for manslaughter in James Jackson's case and receives 20 years. In Alfred Boyd's case, he opts for a trial. He's found guilty and is serving life in prison today.
We just want to go back over your statement with you.
Sure. When me and my partner finished with this investigation, it became a template, a